Plug.
Hello everybody. Today I wanted to talk about something a bit different. This is basically just a different type of video than what I normally do. I know I make like gaming videos, but I kind of wanted to switch up what I make and try something different. Like, I don't know, just talking about random shit. Like, that's basically it. You know, I've wrote some stuff down that I wanted to talk about, and what I talk about is kind of, I want to say like motivational stuff, but if it motivates people, then that's like 10 times better. I think that's better if it motivates people. Yeah, I just want to, talk about things that I write down and things that I think about. It's just a way to, it's like a personal journal, but video format, if that makes sense. And right now I can do this because everyone else in the house is asleep and I don't look insane talking to myself. But I wrote some stuff down in this. I don't know if it's visible, but it's called, hold on, let's see if it focuses. This is focusing.
Nope.
Is it focusing? The Script to Life and the Spirit. That's what I named this notebook. That might sound corny, but I don't give a fuck, nigga. Yeah, I'm just gonna read some things that I write down in here and just, talk about them. I'm basically just reading off of my Script to Life and the Spirit. That's basically it. I journal it and then I put it in a video journal. That's basically what it is. So what I wrote down is firstly about confidence. I feel like confidence is something that everyone strives to achieve, but not everybody has. And I feel like a lot of people want, obviously everyone wants confidence, but I think a lot of people don't know how to get it. Like, it's something that you can want, but it feels so unattainable. You should have confidence and you can tell yourself to be confident, but you could also just be like, you could just have zero confidence at all, and it can just suck. It sucks dick. Say you want to go up and approach a girl. Okay, just be confident. How do you just be confident? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you just make yourself like, okay, I can just go up to this person and just have a normal conversation and not be nervous and just be sure of myself. How do you do that? That just doesn't come without any sort of prior building to actually achieve that. It can't just come out of nowhere, I feel like, if that makes sense to you guys. So this is what I wrote down. As a man, confidence, it's necessary. It's necessary for everything. To get what you want out of life, you need confidence. You need it. You just have to have it. It's something it's a non-negotiable to have, to need confidence. Whether that be financial, with women, with any successful avenue that you want to pursue in life, that's something that you're going to need to have. I think if I can easily define confidence, it'll be a lot easier for people to actually be able to begin to obtain it or understand what confidence actually is. So I wrote it down in my Script of Life and Spirit for what actually, the definition of confidence. And this is what I wrote down. I didn't want to use Google because, I feel like if it's more personal, it means more and it just sounds cooler. So to me, I feel like confidence is to be sure of yourself and your abilities to do well in something because of positive reinforcement. That's what confidence is. To be sure of yourself and your abilities to do something well because of positive reinforcement. Now, to be sure of what you do and your abilities to succeed is confidence. But I also explain how to obtain it. It's through positive reinforcement. That is how you obtain confidence. It's through positive reinforcement. When you earn confidence and genuinely feel it, with confidence, you can propel yourself into any avenue of success that you want. Really. Any avenue of success. I genuinely want that for myself, and I genuinely want that for you. If I can just help a little bit to, have others achieve confidence, then that would mean the world to me. But one problem that a lot of people might have with this, how do you gain confidence? Like you've talked about positive reinforcement, you've talked about what it is. So now how do you actually go about gaining it? What positive reinforcement do you need? I feel like the best way to gain insight into something is to ask other people, and that's what I did. I asked my manager about confidence. He has way more experience and knowledge than me. He's like 50, like a 50-year-old Egyptian nigga that's been all around the world. So, I feel like he's pretty experienced. Or I could be wrong, but it doesn't, being all around the world doesn't mean much when it comes to advice. I mean, it does, but, you can get advice from anyone and it could be good. But I just take his advice. I just put it higher up on the rungs of a ladder just because, he's been around more. And he told me something very interesting that really stuck with me. He said that to build true, unshakable confidence, you need to find a skill or avenue in life and become so good at it that the confidence you develop in that skill or avenue will bleed into every area of your life. Every area of your life. I made sure to write that down in here because that stuck with me profusely. From the way you walk, from the way you talk, from the way that you treat others, from the way that you treat yourself, the way that you present yourself. That is the most pure form of being sure of yourself and your abilities. That to be sure of yourself is the ultimate form of confidence. That is all that confidence is to be sure of yourself because of what you do to build up yourself in a certain skill or avenue, and that self-assuredness just seeps into everything else in your being. And understand that no one is born with confidence. It's developed through numerous experiences, whether that be someone being very attractive and people tell them that they're beautiful their whole lives. That builds confidence. That's positive reinforcement. That's being so sure of yourself because of something so numerous that it just seeps into who you are. After my boss told me this, it felt like I finally kind of understood or, kind of got a grasp of what confidence truly is. It may still be a bit confusing to some, so let me try to give y'all an example. Let me just try to give y'all an example just so it's less confusing if some of you guys are still confused. And I actually wrote down, example to try and help you guys out. But first, let me turn on the fan because it's hot as fuck. Okay, I'm back. All right, let me get back to reading my script. I made an example for a kid called Bobby. He's very good at track and field. He trains every day to be the absolute best at what he does, so he never has to second guess himself whenever he's in those blocks ready for the gun. And he never has to wonder if he's good enough because he's so sure of himself that there's no real reason to question whether or not he's ready or if he's not worthy enough to actually be in those blocks, or if he hasn't trained enough. He's so self-assured in himself because of the work that he put in. That self-assuredness that he feels is ultimate confidence. That confidence that he gets from putting in the work every single day to get better at what he loves is a confidence that will bleed into every other facet of who Bobby is. The way he walks, the way he talks, the way he acts, and the way that he treats others. You know what I'm saying? Bobby knows himself and what he's capable of, basically. But most importantly, he knows the work that he put in and day out for what he loves and does. The work you put into something is the number one way to be sure of yourself. Realizing this kind of blew my mind, because what I always thought was that, confidence, I've said this, but I thought confidence was something that you could just, convince yourself that you have. Like, you're going up to talk to a girl, you're about to do a job interview, just, all right, be confident. That shit don't work. I'm just keep it a bean. It might work for some people, but that does not, no, that usually don't work. Just telling yourself in the moment to be confident. You can give yourself all the positive affirmations that you want, but without the real proof of the hard work and real dedication that you put into something to actually draw real confidence from, I feel like it's always going to be a bit fickle. Like, if you're going up to talk to a girl, but you've never talked to 100 girls yet, so you have no sort of positive reinforcement and triumph with women, how are you going to be confident talking to this one girl? Or if you've never been to, 15 job interviews that went well, how are you going to have the confidence to go to one job interview and be like, okay, I'm just going to be confident? You're just not. But let me also say this. Oh, and before I say what I want to say, let me just say the entire point of this video is basically just to say, just find what you love, man. Look for it in everything. Try something new all the time, because you never know how much you're gonna love it as much as the last thing. Like, you never know. And when you find out what you love, just dedicate yourself to it. Put everything that you have into it. As much as having confidence is great, it's also great to find something that you love. Having all that, shouldn't that be more of a motivating factor to actually chase your dreams and accomplish what you want to accomplish? And let me get back to what I was saying before. Let me just say this. It is okay if you do not have confidence. There is nothing wrong with not having confidence. There is not a single person in the world that at one point wasn't confident in their self. Nobody. Even if you're not confident in yourself yet, you still have value. Everyone has value to them. It's just up to you to put in the work and finally reveal that value. That's the only reason why some people's value is more noticeable than others, because they started just like you and they put the work in to finally show the value that was already in them from the very beginning. You can do the same thing. Like, just sit there, close your eyes, and just tell yourself, I can do the same thing as all these other people out there that are as confident as confidence can get. You can do the exact same thing. Well, firstly, find what you love, dedicate yourself to it, put in the work, and have that confidence that you build from doing what you love bleed into everything that you do. And that's, in my opinion, that's how you build confidence. That's basically, or this is kind of basically how my videos are going to be going from now on. Or not all of them, but most of them. I don't want to just be doing gaming stuff. I want to, start, I don't know if you can, is that going to focus? I'm going to make more videos reading off of this and just what I write down, the script to life in the spirit. That's pretty much, yeah. I'm going to start doing a lot more videos like this. But yeah, this isn't going to be the best video. I got to get better at, talking to a camera and reading off of a script at the same time. But, as things go on, it'll obviously become better. Damn, I'm getting bigger, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, let me stop. No. Plug.